LeBron James gets that news today. What is today?
Today's his birthday.
Oh, I'm sorry. The greatest birthday gift that LeBron James has ever gotten is the reality, the smack in the face that he's no longer an all-star.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
He's out again. Anthony Davis is injured once again and is going to miss time with the Dallas Mavericks for a minor groin strain. Likely will miss a few games. And I don't even know what a few games is to Anthony Davis, because Anthony Davis seems to always be missing time.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
I know exactly what Patriot Nation is screaming this morning. It's Drake May time. Give him the trophy. MVP. Stop it, please. Just sit down. Yes, Drake May has had a nice season, but let's be real. He has played a JV schedule of defenses. He is carving up the easiest slate of defenses in the NFL this season. Congratulations on your beatdown of the Jets.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
The champagne pops. The clock strikes 12. But New Year's isn't one at midnight. It's one on the gridiron. Every snap, every number, every edge that matters. Don't just watch the ball drop. Watch the odds drop. College football playoff coverage. Live lines. Smart analysis. All New Year's Day. Only on SportsGrid.
And welcome in. It is in-game live game day on a terrific Tuesday evening. Scott Wetzel, Gabriel Morency for the next 2 glorious hours, right up until 10 p.m. Eastern time, watching, analyzing, and of course, betting on the world of sports. Ah, yes, one of our all-time favorite betting systems in play tonight, the Coaches Fired system. We got hockey tonight. We got NBA. Full slate of college basketball. Baseball world has gone bonkers if the reports are true, and Irish eyes are smiling tonight if those reports are true. We'll get to it all. First up, though, it's game time. What's betting you off tonight, Gabe?
There's a lot of stuff going on in the sports world. Mike Tomlin, probably the biggest story of the day. It's just been a whirlwind of coaching activity this year in college football, NFL football. But I'm going to take a look at Connor McDavid tonight, in which Connor McDavid, guys, 19-point streak, all right? 19-game point streak right now. So to put that in context, it's pretty impressive, right? 19 games in a row with a point. Wayne Gretzky, 51 games in a row. You want to talk about records that aren't going to be broken. 51 games in a row, which is still the all-time record for points, consecutive games in a row. So as great as Connor McDavid is, and think about that, like as great as he is, think about like, wow, 51 games. Wayne Gretzky, guys, so McDavid's up to 19 games in a row with a point. Wayne Gretzky had 5 different streaks of 24 games or more. That's pretty wild.
Wow. Like
he's done this like 5 times, 51 times. So just to put in context about like just how dominant Wayne Gretzky was compared to everybody else. But so Connor McDavid plays tonight, and oh yeah, by the way, you want to talk about systems, whatever. The guy's got a point in 19 straight games, but it happens to be Connor McDavid's birthday today as well.
Very nice. Very nice. That's another system. Oh, I love these systems. All right, opening pickoff time. We'll squeeze in as many as we can here as far as systems go. I'm going to start here, Gabe, with a little hockey. Give me the over 5.5 Islanders at Winnipeg. Don't ask why. This is one of the more stranger stats, but the Islanders, who have generally been pretty bad, and Winnipeg, who's generally been pretty good, are 12-4. Their last 16 games at Winnipeg. Now, I don't have enough guts to take the Islanders outright, even though I should. But I've got to go with the over. Winnipeg's on a 6 straight game over streak. They've been giving up a ton of goals since Hellebuck has been out, for about a month or so now. Islanders 4-1 over. I think they get to 6 tonight. Give me over Islanders in Winnipeg because the Islanders do play well in Winnipeg.
I do think the Islanders actually win this game. I do like the Islanders tonight, but it's so much going on that even a Oklahoma City San Antonio Spur matchup is kind of flying under the radar as these two teams dance again, right, for the 4th time. And Oklahoma City are 0-3 against the San Antonio Spurs, man. Like, this is real right now. Obviously, Oklahoma City are overpriced on a nightly basis, right? And, you're getting 9 points. It's come down to 8.5 right before tip-off here. And the Thunder want this game badly. But at the same point in time, it doesn't mean they're automatically going to smoke and blow out San Antonio. I think it's just a matchup problem for Oklahoma City. They don't have an answer for Wembanyama. So give me the San Antonio Spurs. I'm not going to overthink this. I've taken the Spurs all 3 times. I'm going to do it again. Give me the San Antonio Spurs.
All right, I'll flip to my number 3 pick, and that's that game. And you know what, Gabe? I'm with you. I know the whole world is thinking, oh, there's no way they're going to lose 4 times in a row. They don't have to lose. They just don't have to cover, that's all. And I know that the whole world's thinking, oh, OKC's just chomping at the bit to get back at San Antonio. And while I don't doubt that, they had that same approach the second time they faced them after they lost about a week ago. And then when they lost that game and they faced them, 2 days later, they had that same approach and they lost again. So OKC's not winning this because they're all pumped up like they weren't the last 3 times they faced them. No, they had to been pumped up after losing as many times as they did. So maybe there's just some matchup problem. They're 4-1 against the spread. The Spurs are against OKC going back to last year. You know what? Don't fight it. Give me San Antonio as well with the points.
And don't think for a second that San Antonio, don't think that, San Antonio's like, we beat them 3 times, so it doesn't matter if we lose this game tonight. No, they would like nothing better than to just sweep them and move on. They don't play again for the rest of the year. So the next time they would play after this would be in the playoffs. So that the Spurs would like to just sort of send one last message. And, by the way, we just beat you again. All right? Yeah. Just to let you know if we meet you in the playoffs. But we talked about Wembanyama. He's starting to play his way back into game shape right now. Listen, he's already awesome even at half capacity, as we see, when he was playing like 17 minutes a night. But he played 27 minutes in the last game. He's now starting once again. So it's pretty clear. And, they haven't played since Saturday. So there's no reason why Wemby doesn't go off. And he always goes off against Oklahoma City because they can't stop him. They don't have anybody that can – Holmgren just gets murdered by him all the time. So I think it's a fair number tonight. Let's go over 21.5 points for Wembanyama scored.
All right, I'll go to my number 2 pick. I went out of order. Sorry, big boys. Give me the Denver Nuggets, laying 2.5 or so at New Orleans. Listen, I understand the Joker's not in there, but they've held their own, without him. And really, they've done so over the last couple of seasons whenever he did take off. So it's not that big a deal. Bottom line, though, is New Orleans, folks, has by the way, 4-3 straight up without the Joker since his latest injury. New Orleans has the worst record in the NBA. Nah, Indiana Pacers, nope. Washington Wizards, nope. Brooklyn Nets, nope. Sacramento Queens, Utah Jazz, nope. At 9-32, the New Orleans Pelicans have the worst record in the NBA. I don't care if they're playing in New Orleans or playing on the moon. I will take Denver basically a pick 'em against New Orleans.
My pick is not the worst record in the NBA, but they have lost 3 games in a row, right? They have lost 3 games in a row, so they return home tonight. The Houston Rockets. Now, do I like the Rockets? Not really, and in fact, I kind of think the spread is too high in this basketball game, but I do like Kevin Durant in this game. Don't look now, but KD is doing stupid, crazy things again. For a guy who's been around a long time, it's kind of flying under the radar. But you don't see the Houston Rockets much and stuff, but he's rolling. All right, so tonight is his points, rebounds, and assist combo is 36.5. He's gone over this number in 8 of their last 9 games and 12 of their last 14 games. Now you get a Chicago Bull team that are terrible defensively, and you're going to have a focused Houston Rocket team because they're on a 3-game losing streak, right? So I love KD to go off tonight. Pass the ball, shoot the ball, get a couple of rebounds. Let's go over 36.5 points, rebounds, and assists for Kevin Durant.
Last one for me, college basketball. One of my automatic under teams, which has come through again this year, the Houston Cougars. They're at home. They're hosting West Virginia. 127.5, 128.5, depending on what number you have. It's in that area. I don't think it's going to matter much. Houston doesn't lose at home. We all know that. And West Virginia stinks on the road. They're 1-5 their last 6 true road games. So that means Houston's going to win. They generally don't annihilate teams, even the bad teams that they face. They'll call off the dogs. Every once in a while, Sampson will let the guys go, but I don't think they will tonight. This has got, 70 to 55 written all over it. It's not a big number. I know that 127.5, and that came close to going over, but give me the Houston Cougars under 127.5. They're a monster under team once again this year.
I'm going to go with Connor McDavid, as we talked about earlier. It's Connor McDavid's birthday today. He's just scorching right now. This is, we talked about teams from Canada not really having a chance this year, but the Oilers are the one team you can't dismiss. He's like Josh Allen, essentially, right? If you've got Connor McDavid, you've got a shot. You got Leon Draisaitl as well, you got a shot. But McDavid is scorching 19 consecutive games with a point. He did not score a goal in the last game. And he had a goal in 4 straight games before that. So he's kind of almost due after one game without scoring. He's due for a goal. He's got 30 goals on the season. And, oh, yeah, the little icing on the cake, it happens to be his 29th birthday tonight as well. Connor McDavid to light the lamp.
There you go. We are set. Plenty more picks coming up, including the coach's fired system. That's next right here on the Grid.
It's going to open up Pandora's box. But I will say this. I do believe players that sign now, like Najee, should not be eligible now, but should have to sit out and come back in next year. It's just a slippery slope. And I agree with people like Tom Izzo. I don't like it at all.
College basketball today. Only on SportsGrid.
OK Dubs has to go back to his roots. I'm not a Jets fan, I'm not a Giants fan, and neither one of those teams even play in New York. But I'm a New Yorker through and through, despite where my mail gets sent. And I will not stand for the Jets to be dragged through the mud in this way. Not gonna happen. So Dante Moore, if you do leave, you should be so lucky to fly the plane.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Maybe the fact was that the kicker just blew a 44-yard field goal. Now, by the way, I feel horrible for this kid, Tyler Loop, who made every single field goal this season 44 yards or less. But the extra point that was missed just before that by Chris Boswell was the only extra point that he missed all season long. So did they bless that same holy water when Boswell missed the extra point? Come on, guys. Let's get it.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
The Steelers get their touchdown, and they miss the extra point. It was Lamar Jackson who made the plays to get the Ravens into what should have been easy field goal territory. So explain to me how in the world we can look at last night's game as, well, there you go, can't trust Lamar Jackson.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
And welcome back. It is In-Game Live Game Day here on a Tuesday, just underway. Scott and Gabe, lot to get to today. What a busy night it is. We got everything. We got hockey, we got NBA, we got college basketball. I got my guy Nick Kyrgios in action. I don't know where he's at. Madison Square Garden, unless it's a replay. So I even got my guy here as he tunes up for his great match next month or so. So Yeah.
I'm not sure what you're watching there, Scott.
Yeah, it might be a replay of something, but he's on the court. I'm hoping it's live.
You know what there is?
Get in shape, boy.
You know what there is going on right now, actually, too? Like I said, there's so much stuff going on. You figure they should figure out a better time to play this stuff, but it is what it is. You got to do it sometime. But there's TGL Golf on right now as well.
Yes, got that too.
Yes, yep. There's TGL Golf on, and I bet it last year, and rather successfully, actually. Like, I followed it from week one, and I got into it. Like, I like this better than real golf, to be honest with you, Scott. Well, golf tournament's 4 days. It's freaking long. You bet on. This thing is like an hour and a half, bro. So It's like a game. It's like, all right, you know what I mean? You're going to get a winner in 2 hours here. It's quick. It's actually cool, right? They got the greens, and, they're playing real golf. They drive into a simulator, but it's actually really cool. I just haven't seen it this year. And we're into like week 3 or week 4 now of this. Dude, why would you start that December 28th, bro? Like against bowl games and NFL.
With all the bowls. Yeah.
Wait till the NFL's. Oh, I know. I get it. Like you got to do it before the PGA tours and it's full swing and all this. But like, I just find that this year, like last year, if you remember, we could actually see it. It was like, oh, look, it's on ESPN now, right? And it was like, wow, it's on. Now it's like, oh yeah, it's on ESPN 2 or it's on that against this and that. Like it's kind of, I don't know. It seems kind of wasted to me this year, to be honest with you. But it's going on. And I did bet on the New York Golf Club to beat Orlando.
Nice. They were down 3-1. The last time I checked, it was 3-3. So we got plenty on our plate, including, Gabe, one of my all-time favorite betting systems, the Coaches Fired system. What is the Coaches Fired system, you ask? Well, let's go to the SportsGrid Academy to find out. Yes, the Coaches Fired system. What is that, Sky, you ask? Well, that is you play on a team that just fired their head coach the very first time. You don't play 2, 3, 4, 5. Basically, it's one and done. It works the best in college sports. I will admit that, because those kids consider those head coaches as almost parents to them. But you know what? Next in line is the NHL, and that's what happened. Columbus fired their head coach, Dean Evison, this week, and this is their first game. They're hosting Calgary. They get all fired up. Why, you say? They sucked. Why, if they fired the head coach, how can you put American money on them or Canadian money? Well, they feel guilty. They're human beings. You got one of two reactions. They feel guilty because, the guy that they like, got fired, and it's because of them, right? It's not the coach. It's obviously the players. So they get all pumped up, and they give a 100% honest effort for that at least first game. Or they hate the head coach, and they're thrilled. He's finally gone. Oh, my God, thank goodness. We don't have to tank any more games. We hate this guy. And they go out and they play great. Either way, you can't lose. So it's the Coaches Fired system. I don't have records. All I know is following this stuff for 40 years. I'm telling you, it absolutely positively has a winning record in those college and NHL sports, not so much in the NFL. And Columbus is the play tonight, Gabe, at home against the Calgary Flames. What do you think?
It often, listen, I'm not going to argue it. I think like all trends in sports, each sport is a little bit different. Right, but I think you are correct about the analysis of the reasoning after, right? Like if they don't like the guy and he gets fired, then it's almost like, all right, we better win because we just got this guy fired and we didn't like him, right? And all right, so screw him. Let's go on and start winning a bunch of games right now, right? You saw that with Ole Miss. Screw Lane Kiffin, right? You know what I mean? They were sort of, they were, it was the playoffs, but they had that, they admitted it. They had this extra fire, so to speak, because of it. Or like Scott said, they feel bad and like about the situation, and or not just that they feel bad, they sort of realize I'm going to get traded. If they just fired the coach, like I could be traded. They're going to break this thing up. And like, it's a wake up call for everybody in the room. I'd like to see the record though, Scott, like everything, right? I do agree though. I think this one, I can't debate it. Like you win more than lose. It seems to really be good in baseball. The manager fired in baseball. Baseball teams seem to always win. College football, not so much. A lot of times the kids like the guy a lot and are kind of like, it's not a Rocky movie. They don't look at Penn State, bro. Like Penn State recovered after Scott. You know what I mean? They ended strong. They won a bowl game, but those kids were down, man, after they fired Franklin. Like, they were not happy about it. They were sad, and they were like, screw the university. Like, why am I going to play hard for you guys? You just fired the guy that I came here for, right? And it took them a couple of weeks to sort of realize, well, listen, it ain't about him. It's about you. It's about my NFL draft stock. It's about whatever. You got to realize, you got to wake up, kid, here. So it sort of goes back, but, yeah, they're winning 2-0, but let's not mush it, right? Still 2-0 right now. And now we got the birthday one, too. The other one, too. So you got the birthday one. Got the birthday one. Then there's the other one where a lot of people believe in it, and it sort of works in golf. I sort of thought of this because we're talking about golf a second ago. Golfers that have babies seem to do well after. It's true.
It's a new one. That's good. That's a new one.
Yeah,
you know what? You got one on me.
Yeah, no, it's true. Like, it's the baby swag, like, all the time in golf. Like, I'm not saying in every sport, you know what I mean? Because I would think, it'd be a distraction, and kids will wake. You're going to be up at 4 in the morning, like, whatever. Like, no, but, like, golf, it really is. It's the baby swag in golf. And happened with Fred VanVleet a couple of years ago in the finals with the Raptors, if you remember. VanVleet literally went, Scott, like 0 for 23 from 3 earlier in the playoffs, the year the Raptors won the title. And they benched him, right? They benched him. They were like, listen, like, you got to sit down. Like, you've missed 23 three-point shots in a row. He got limited time. He didn't play much, and his girlfriend had a baby, and then he literally hit like 19 in a row after. And then he got a big contract, Scott, and the rest is history, right? They won the title. And he even said, he goes, yeah, I don't know. I was really depressed about everything. He goes, I had no confidence. I was depressed. I couldn't hit a shot. And he goes, I had a baby, and suddenly nothing's, didn't matter. Like, he goes, everything seemed like fine after that. And he started hitting shots.
There you go. See that? Whatever works. Any kind of betting angle is a great angle. We love it. Coach's Fired System. All right, more coming up.
It's going to open up Pandora's box. But I will say this. I do believe players that sign now, like Najee, should not be eligible now, but should have to sit out and come back in next year. It's just a slippery slope. And I agree with people like Tom Izzo. I don't like it at all.
College basketball today. Only on SportsGrid.
OK Dubs has to go back to his roots. I'm not a Jets fan, I'm not a Giants fan, and neither one of those teams even play in New York. But I'm a New Yorker through and through, despite where my mail gets sent. And I will not stand for the Jets to be dragged through the mud in this way. Not gonna happen. So Dante Moore, if you do leave, you should be so lucky to fly the plane.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Maybe the fact was that the kicker just blew a 44-yard field goal. Now, by the way, I feel horrible for this kid, Tyler Loop, who made every single field goal this season 44 yards or less. But the extra point that was missed just before that by Chris Boswell was the only extra point that he missed all season long. So did they bless that same holy water when Boswell missed the extra point? Come on, guys. Let's get it.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
The Steelers get their touchdown, and they miss the extra point. It was Lamar Jackson who made the plays to get the Ravens into what should have been easy field goal territory. So explain to me how in the world we can look at last night's game as, well, there you go, can't trust Lamar Jackson.
The Craig Carden Show. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. Welcome back. A little hockey, little NBA, little college basketball. I will say, with the Coaches Fired System, that aside, there is no other sport. I know we're going to go through it with the NFL here in a little while once we get some coaches hired. But as far as retreads and getting jobs 1,000 times, Rick Bowness, how many Rick Bowness was coach of the Islanders when I was working for the Islanders radio network 20 years ago.
You can literally cover up a sexual assault in your own locker room and get rehired. I don't want to get too graphic here, but so there you go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is almost impossible to get blackballed if you are an NHL coach. Yeah. Like, once you are in that club, you're in. Any kind of success. You don't even need to win. A little bit. And listen, I know Rick Bowness personally. Like, I've drank with the guy. I'm not super I'm best friends with him, but like, I met him, whatever. My uncle, like, whatever, played with, like, whatever. I've drank beers with Rick Bowness in a bar before. Has he ever, like, coached a winning team?
No.
Like, it's another thing, Scott. Like, it's not like, oh, listen, yeah, you know, he's a little old, but it's Bill Belichick. He's won 6 Super Bowls. Like,
2-3
Stanley Cups. Like, what's like? And listen, I'm not blaming Rick Bowness. Like, this is what happens. He's coached a lot of bad teams. But, like, at the same point in time, it's like, all right, so let's just get his record here, Scott. I guarantee you, bro, it's like 450 wins and 700 losses or something. Like, let's see Rick Bowness's career record. And like you said, this guy just got hired again. He's got hired
70.
Again. He even said a couple of years ago, I don't want to coach anymore. I'm worn out. He even admitted it. He was like, no, I've been in the league for 50 years. I'm done. Like, they roped him back in. Let me see what his record is. I got to get his record here.
I want to see how many teams he's been on, too. Let me Google Rick Bowness.
All right, he's 310 and 408.
Wow. He's 100 games under 500 at 70 years old.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not
Columbus
calling him
Blue
out.
Jackets.
I'm not picking on him.
No,
and for the record, Scott, just for the record, the poor bastard, he coached the Ottawa Senators when they were an expansion team, okay? So, like, you know, there's a lot of losses here, but we're just making a point, me and Scott here. 70 years old. The guy is 109 games under 500 in his career. And you're telling me, Scott, like, there's not a guy in the AHL? Like, your AHL guy. Say, listen, like, our AHL guy, like, our assistant. There's this young mind and another assistant on the Red Wings we think is a smart guy. Okay. Dude, they don't think like football. Like, they're like, what? New. They're like, no. I play golf and drink with this guy. I'm hiring him. Yeah. Like, that's the way it works in this league, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah. It's
amazing. Look at this. The guy's 110 games under 500 and he's 70 years old.
How many teams has he coached?
There's not one guy more qualified. Not one guy you could give a chance to. Not one guy.
You said it. Not one guy in your minor league system that impresses you, that you think, okay, you know what?
Scott, what does it say if you're the AHL coach in their organization? You're like, dude, I'll never get the job. I'll never get the job here. They just fired the coach and they hired Rick Bowness.
Yeah. I mean, it's just nuts.
Guys, it's like a football team hiring, like, I don't know, it's a comparison. Like some like average coach that's like...
It's like a college football quarterback being thrown into the portal system. Every single year, I'm going into the portal. I'm going to go coach another team. See you later. I mean,
he hasn't coached as many teams. I know he actually has. It's quite a few, just for the record. So
yeah, it's got to be at least 6.
Actually, you know what? Sorry. You know what? I got it wrong here. I got this wrong. I got it wrong. Let me get his the full one here. I had a partial one. So sorry. And you know what? It's confusing here because he's got player stats and. Like, he was also a player, right? So I've got all kinds of different records here.
Oh, maybe that was a part of his playing career.
Yeah. Here we go. Coaching record. All right. So now I've got it confirmed. All right. Yeah, 310, 408, 48 ties. So he's been around long enough, Scott. That's when you know you've been around,
the old
bro.
Ties. Yeah.
He's got 48 ties in his life.
Yeah.
He's tied. His 48 tie games. I cracked up. I tweeted out when he got the job yesterday. I said, it's nice to see the Jackets give some fresh blood a chance. You know?
Yeah. Let's count them up. 1, Winnipeg, Boston, Ottawa, Islanders, Phoenix, Arizona, Dallas, Winnipeg, and now Columbus. 8. I knew it had to be at least 6 or 7.
It's quite a few. I mean, there's only 30 teams in the league.
I know. He's coached a third of them.
Saying? Like, it's only 30 teams.
With a record 100 games under 500.
And I should know, like, this guy's been around, like, before there were 30 teams, Scott. You know what I mean? Like, Bonus is around in the old 26-team league and stuff like that. He played in, like, the 21-team league, you know?
Wow. Amazing. All right, more coming up.
It's going to open up Pandora's box. But I will say this. I do believe players that sign now, like Najee, should not be eligible now, but should have to sit out and come back in next year. It's just a slippery slope. And I agree with people like Tom Izzo. I don't like it at all.
College basketball today. Only on SportsGrid.
OK Dubs has to go back to his roots. I'm not a Jets fan, I'm not a Giants fan, and neither one of those teams even play in New York. But I'm a New Yorker through and through, despite where my mail gets sent. And I will not stand for the Jets to be dragged through the mud in this way. Not gonna happen. So Dante Moore, if you do leave, you should be so lucky to fly the plane.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Maybe the fact was that the kicker just blew a 44-yard field goal. Now, by the way, I feel horrible for this kid, Tyler Loop, who made every single field goal this season 44 yards or less. But the extra point that was missed just before that by Chris Boswell was the only extra point that he missed all season long. So did they bless that same holy water when Boswell missed the extra point? Come on, guys. Let's get it.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
The Steelers get their touchdown, and they miss the extra point. It was Lamar Jackson who made the plays to get the Ravens into what should have been easy field goal territory. So explain to me how in the world we can look at last night's game as, well, there you go, can't trust Lamar Jackson.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
And welcome back. It is in-game live game day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe halfway through hour number one. Time to look at a little NBA, a little college basketball with the coach, Mr. James Young, our college basketball NBA betting analyst. What's going on, Coach? How are you on this Tuesday evening?
You know, really some really good matchups, you know, in college basketball. Clemson, BC, Texas A&M, Tennessee, UConn, Seton Hall, which me and Gabe have said it's a rock fight at the Rock.
Yeah, the Prudential Center. Rock fight at the Rock.
Offenses be damned, obviously, this matchup between
What about
Dan
the total,
Hurley.
guys? So, Coach, it's 128.5 right now. I'm not even sure it's going to get to that. Like,
No,
it's a 120,
no.
and it's not even that off the original total, right? 131.5 or 132, whatever. Like, so it's 17-17, Scott. 8 minutes left. We're at the TV break here. 7.5 minutes left. This really is a rock fight. Like, this could be one of those 62-57 type of games when it's all said and done, huh, Coach?
Listen, guys, one of my best bets of the day was Seton Hall team total under 62.5 points. If you think about it, they've gone under 2 of their 4 games in the Big East. They're bottom 100 in effective field goal percentage offense. UConn's held 4 out of 6 under this total. They're top 10 in defensive efficiency, 3-point and 2-point shooting percentage. Neither team plays fast, and knowing Seton Hall and knowing Sheen Holloway, remember, folks, they have beaten UConn 3 straight years at the Rock. This was going to be a rock fight. And the only
Dude, their
way
total is 62.5 right now. It's the same number.
Right.
They just hit a 2 to take a 19-17 lead.
Take it. That game will be slow down. If you look at it, and Seton Hall is shooting, listen, Seton Hall is shooting 50% from the floor. I know those kids, and they're great. You think Dan Hurley's going to let the team shoot 50% from the floor? They're shooting 50% from the floor, and they got 19 points with under 8 minutes left to go in the first half. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, that's good. You know what? That's a good The Big East, listen, I love the Big East. We're here in the Big East country, right? But it is kind of waned a little bit. Like, I don't know if there's really a big time rivalry. We need Seton Hall. We need someone to punch UConn in the face and get Bobby or Danny Hurley going bonkers on the sidelines and create a little bit of a rip. We really need
Maybe
that.
if Nova gets good again. St. John.
Yeah.
St. John's supposed to be the team, but what about their big picture coach in St. John's? You like what you see so far from them?
They have not been good, but they've started to turn it on as of late. So last week, they went to Creighton, a Creighton team that is another team that's underachieved, and they absolutely blitzed them. I think they were up by like 20 some odd in the second half. And going to Creighton, that's a tough place to play. St. John's right now up 21 on Marquette. You want to talk about a team about falling. Marquette has fallen because I don't know if people notice, Shaka Smart refuses to get involved in this NIL mess. He doesn't. He wants freshmen.
Survive.
Good luck.
And
you're in Milwaukee. Maybe you can get away
yeah.
with that if you were in like somewhere like in Florida or something.
But not in the Big East where I know these guys. St. John's spent a ton of money. UConn spent a ton of money. I know the Nova guys. They got a ton of money. Right now, as part of the get Kevin Willard there. You have guys. Unfortunately, in college sports, you gotta pay to play, and you gotta pay to win. Now, you still can pay for players and get it completely wrong.
Yeah, it's not automatic. Ask Mark Pope in Kentucky. They're spending $23 million. You're right. Yeah, you're right.
$20 million.
You don't want to take away, and you're a coach. So you don't want to take anything away from coach in the sense that it's not as simple as just being rich. You still got to coach the players, and you know as well as I do, Coach. When you get these. I talked about it with my Michigan Wolverines this year. It was the first year Michigan had sort of mercenaries coming in, right? The NIL kids coming in. And it was the first time ever I saw Michigan players fighting on the sidelines. First year ever our coach, was sleeping with people during games, essentially. You know what I mean? You get into this era, anyway. They don't care as much anymore, right? They care about themselves more. So it's almost like you got to be careful. Then you got to find the right balance, don't you, Coach? You just don't want, a kid that has no soul and is only there because of money.
Yeah, I think that, Gabe, I think you make the point that I've been trying to tell people on this network since I've started and coming from the college game and dealing with the transfer portal. The best teams are the teams that mix experience, develop kids over the years, with freshmen, and then supplement their roster.
And then you add a portal two-player in. Not though there's a player or two, right? You bring in a new point guard from the Ivy League or something.
Right,
you bring in a guy.
Right, and that's the thing. You look at Gonzaga. They had most of their team. They got Graham Ike. They get obviously a stud freshman. You look at Houston, right? Houston, if you think about it, Emmanuel Sharp, been there 4 years. Milos Uzan, transfer, been there a couple of years. Tugler, been there a couple of years. Kingston Fleming, Chris Sinek, freshman. You got to have
even
that
Michigan,
right
Coach. They're a good mix of this. There's a lot. There's 6 kids from last year's team and a mix of new guys. It's a good mix, right?
Yeah, and I think listen, and if you look at a team locally, right, but Scotty now, who we know, St. John's. It's the third year for Patino. First year tried to go through the portal, did not work. Second year, a little bit more of a mix. R.J. Lewis, was a transfer, but it's the second year. Stepped up. Etchafor stepped up. You grab Kadari Richmond from Seton Hall, right? Now he goes back to the portal because all those guys graduate and they're struggling to find themselves. But you can get teams. It'll be interesting to watch St. John's. Watch a team, obviously, like Kentucky. Can they get it together? I'll tell you this much.
I trust St. John's more, Coach. I think they could go on a tournament run. They're playing, they've lost some close games. They'll get more battle tested and sort of they'll be ready for the tournament. I wouldn't dismiss them, but I'm not ready to dismiss them.
No, I wouldn't dismiss them either. It's too good of a coach. And obviously they're looking like a little bit more of what we expect. It'll be interesting to see one game that's about to start right now. Speaking of team total unders, I talked about them. I'm going with West Virginia under their team total of 58.5 versus Houston. Guys, Houston is starting to defend the way that we think they are. They're top 40 in basically every defensive metric so far. Both teams bottom 60 in pace of play. And even when Houston steals or get blocks, guys, they don't run the ball up the floor. They bleed the clock, and then when a guy like Kingston Flemings, he can create a shot, end of shot clock. West Virginia team total under 58.5 tonight.
Guys, there's so much going on, Scott, that, how about this, guys? Iowa State, 16-0. Nobody talks about them. You got Kansas, Iowa State. You know, we talk about it, Scott. It's where Kansas are road home dogs. We always talk about home dogs. Once again, they're getting 3.5. What do you think, Coach? Iowa State, the team that nobody talks about, 16-0.
I sat there and I told people when I did college basketball today last week, when it was Michigan, Iowa State, and I forget the third team. Which team was going to lose first or lose last? Nebraska. I said Iowa State was going to be the last one to lose because they play the best defense. And you've seen, I saw Michigan lose, but they were kind of playing with fire. Saw them with that game at Penn State, which is, Penn State's a weird team. Mike Rose does a good job. It's a tough place to play. But to me, Iowa State, TJ Ossenberger's offense has gotten better, but now their defense is starting to pick up slack. He's done a really good job. Big game at Kansas, a team that's up and down. But when you got Darren Peterson, you got a guy that can go get you 30 and get it to a steal win. But they have underachieved all year as well.
How about Nebraska? 16-0, Coach. Oh, well, back-to-back road wins at Ohio State and Indiana. They're back home tonight laying 10.5 against Oregon.
They should be able to get it done. Typically, the coach of Oregon, I'm blanking on his name.
I don't want to lose you here on the grid, Coach, but you should send your resume because Altman's done there, bro. It's time to move on. Send your resume to Eugene. Hey, I'm getting ahead of it because they're going to fire him. This is his last year. They're going to fire him.
I've been out there to practice. I've seen that facility. My buddy Kelly Graves coaches of women. He's got Chip Kelly's old office that overlooks the stadium. That's a pretty good office. I told Kelly, hey, Kelly, call me, buddy. I'll come on your staff, all right? I'll do it right now.
That's right. We'll take a quick little break. We'll touch on the NBA. A lot of stories going around the NBA. How about those Atlanta Hawks? We talk about addition by subtraction. We'll talk to the coach about that coming up.
It's going to open up Pandora's box. But I will say this. I do believe players that sign now, like Najee, should not be eligible now, but should have to sit out and come back in next year. It's just a slippery slope. And I agree with people like Tom Izzo. I don't like it at all.
College basketball today. Only on SportsGrid.
OK Dubs has to go back to his roots. I'm not a Jets fan, I'm not a Giants fan, and neither one of those teams even play in New York. But I'm a New Yorker through and through, despite where my mail gets sent. And I will not stand for the Jets to be dragged through the mud in this way. Not gonna happen. So Dante Moore, if you do leave, you should be so lucky to fly the plane.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Maybe the fact was that the kicker just blew a 44-yard field goal. Now, by the way, I feel horrible for this kid, Tyler Loop, who made every single field goal this season 44 yards or less. But the extra point that was missed just before that by Chris Boswell was the only extra point that he missed all season long. So did they bless that same holy water when Boswell missed the extra point? Come on, guys. Let's get it.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
The Steelers get their touchdown, and they miss the extra point. It was Lamar Jackson who made the plays to get the Ravens into what should have been easy field goal territory. So explain to me how in the world we can look at last night's game as, well, there you go, can't trust Lamar Jackson.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day on the Grid, talking some college basketball, little NBA with the coach, Mr. James Young. Let's switch over to the NBA here, Coach. Got a good one in OKC. Let me be in there. 3 straight wins by San Antonio over what, a 2.5, 3 week span, including 2 games, 3 days apart. Kind of opened people's eyes. They're meeting again, 4th and final time. OKC is leading early on, but it's 32-20. It's early on. Can we take anything out of San Antonio being 3-0 against the Thunder? Is that a fluke? Is that something legit? Bad matchup for OKC if they got into a best of 7 in the postseason? Your thoughts on tonight's game?
They have San Antonio's got a 7'5" guy. Wembanyama. Yeah, he is a problem. So when you look at Big Victor, just his way that he impacts the game is just something that's really hard to quantify. And I think he gets Chet fit. So 32-28 early on. And then we talked about Seton Hall. I mean, I think we talked about Seton Hall really quick. When we first started the segment, they had like 15 points. It's been 10 minutes. They have like 20. So
they've been stuck.
2.5. I think 62.5 may have been, that may be all of it. That may be like 52.5, maybe the number.
They've been stuck. I got to ask you guys, and I got to ask Coach about this. So much going on in the sports world. It kind of flew under the radar. But anybody that saw, it was like last week, basically. A couple of days ago last week, Luka Doncic and Dennis Schroeder were waiting to check in. Like they were both standing there on the sideline, and somebody had their cell phone out, like, whatever. Everyone's got phones out. And Luka said, you're a bitch and you're an idiot you should have signed a contract. Because we all know Schroeder turned down a bigger contract and ended up getting less money after.
4 for 84.
Right. So,
wow.
And he said, oh, you're an idiot for turning down a contract because Schroeder said something to him. They don't like each other. They're going back and forth. Luka then proceeded to call him a bitch a couple of times. Like, he's like, what's up, bitch? Like on the court. He kept on calling him bitch on the court. And Dennis Schroeder said, all right. And he waited like in the hallway after the game outside the Lakers room. And he didn't go to talk to Luka. He took a swing at him. Like he went after Luka Doncic. Shams is saying that, you know what? The league says that he missed, right? That he didn't, If there's one thing, Coach and Scott, that I believe Draymond Green about is something like this. And Draymond said he didn't miss. Draymond said you don't get 3 games for missing. That's what Draymond said.
Draymond knows about throwing a punch.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if Draymond talks to us about, being a great community, like a great influence.
He knows a little something about punching players.
Yeah, but if Draymond talks about Scott, punching people and NBA suspensions, he knows.
Yeah.
And Draymond didn't hide it. He goes, I heard he actually did connect. And he goes, you don't get 3 games for swinging and missing. That's what he said. And he goes, I've gotten worse. And he brought it up about the precedence of hitting somebody in the NBA in 3 games. So did he tag him? But I've noticed that about a lot, Luke, on the floor, Coach. He talks a lot and then he backs off after, right? Because he doesn't think anyone's going to do anything to him. So good for Schroeder for punching him. You didn't expect my take. That was my take. Yeah, good for Schroeder.
You definitely zigged. You zagged when I zigged. I did not see that part coming.
Yeah, I said good for Schroeder.
I definitely did not see that. Listen, at the end of the day, you don't get suspended 3 days for games for being outside the locker room. Something happened. I'm sure the
guys
NBA
have pulled guns in the tunnel, Coach, and not gotten 3 games.
and that's a perfect segue with the Lakers. Let's be honest, guys. The Lakers have not been playing well since LeBron has been back. Now, it'll be an interesting spot tonight. I haven't looked in the last hour or so about who's in or who's out. I wouldn't expect LeBron nor Luka maybe to play on a second leg of a back-to-back playing heavy minutes. I love the Hawks. Minus points. Get them on the money line because it's under minus 150. I think the Hawks are 3-0 against the spread, 0-3 for the Lakers. I like this Hawks team, and I think we have to have a conversation about how smart they are and honestly getting young.
They're 3-0 since getting rid of it. And they didn't get anything back, Coach. I mean, let's face it. That's what I'm more surprised at. I don't know if I'm more disappointed in Dallas, getting basically Anthony Davis for Luka, or I mean, nobody wanted the Hawks. Nobody. I know. I get.
No one wanted them, guys.
Doubt it. I don't doubt that they couldn't have gotten more. It's just amazing. Like, there was no team that said, we'll take a chance on this guy, new attitude, new situation. I mean, CJ McCollum and a bag of bones for Trae Young? Really?
Listen, I said this when I did pro basketball today, yesterday, that previewed today, or that was on today. Trae going to the Wizards, I think he's a coupon. I don't even know if he's going to play there. I think they're going to keep Trae, and they may move him at a later date.
Dude, they traded for him and said he might not even play this year.
But here's why, guys. You got to remember, their pick is top 8 lottery protected to go to the Knicks. There is no reason on God's green earth that team needs to make the playoffs. They need, with a loaded draft, with a top 5, they'll have some way of DeBanza, Ahmet, Peterson, Boozer, Kingston Flemings. You can go on and on and on. You don't want any part of the kid, Wilson out of North Carolina. You don't want no part of getting out of that top 8 spot. I would be stunned if Trae plays, and I expect Chris Middleton to be moved as well.
Wow, that's amazing. And knowing Adam Silver, the worst commissioner in the history of sports, he won't do anything about it. He'll just say, "Okay, he's hurt. See you later."
Listen, they have a tanking problem. All these sports have some kind of problem. The NFL's got to fix it. The NBA, the only good thing about the NBA lottery is this past year, the teams with the 3 best chances of getting the number 1 pick.
Yeah, there's no guarantee.
4, 5, and 6. There's no guarantee.
You can tank. There's no guarantee. The next one, guys, will be Ja Morant, Coach Scott. That's the one, Scott. You'll get more from Morant than you did for Young, but not really. And it'll be the same thing. There's no
40%.
Very limited market for Morant.
40% of the games he's missed the last 3 years. A guy that needs to get
so
out
he's
of
hurt all the time, and he's got an attitude problem. Great combo.
That's the NBA. Coach, great job, man. Appreciate it. A couple minutes. We'll do it again next week.
Thanks, guys. It's going to open up Pandora's box, but I will say this. I do believe players that sign now, like Nanji, should not be eligible now, but should have to sit out and come back in next year. It's just a slippery slope, and I agree with people like Tom Izzo. I don't like it at all.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
OK Dubs has to go back to his roots. I'm not a Jets fan, I'm not a Giants fan, and neither one of those teams even play in New York. But I'm a New Yorker through and through, despite where my mail gets sent. And I will not stand for the Jets to be dragged through the mud in this way. Not gonna happen. So Dante Moore, if you do leave, you should be so lucky to fly the plane.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Maybe the fact was that the kicker just blew a 44-yard field goal. Now, by the way, I feel horrible for this kid, Tyler Loop, who made every single field goal this season 44 yards or less. But the extra point that was missed just before that by Chris Boswell was the only extra point that he missed all season long. So did they bless that same holy water when Boswell missed the extra point? Come on, guys. Let's get it.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
The Steelers get their touchdown, and they miss the extra point. It was Lamar Jackson who made the plays to get the Ravens into what should have been easy field goal territory. So explain to me how in the world we can look at last night's game as, well, there you go, can't trust Lamar Jackson.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day on the Grid. Fast first hour, finishing things up. Thanks again to the coach, Mr. James Young, who joins us every week here on the Grid. Another recommendation, double down, he says, on the under on Seton Hall, who finished up with only 22 points. They had 20 with about 6 minutes left or so. They
said under team total again. It's 56 and a half, the team total.
Yeah. My only concern with that would be is if it gets to be like a blowout, it's a 13-point lead, and they kind of call off the Dogs defensively, and they just kind of squeak over that because you get a bunch of scoring. But not a bad. I got the under in the game, so I agree with the unders. So you want to double down on that? That would be what, 33 points, 34 points, depending on what number you get after scoring 20 in the first half.
There was so much talk about Miami and Notre Dame in football, Scott, and the big debate and stuff. They're playing tonight in basketball.
Yeah.
So, just for the record, Miami's beating them on the road. I actually like Miami, but I didn't trust them on the road tonight. But they are beating them as 3.5-point favorites. 71-62 with 3 minutes left. But there are a bunch of big-time games. For the record, Wisconsin coming off the Michigan winner beating Minnesota on the road right now. So the Badgers are starting to dial things up a little bit. But we got a bunch of games, Scott, coming off the board here. We talked about it. Kansas, Iowa State should be a fun basketball game. Florida and Oklahoma is one of the TV games as well. In Norman, you got Baylor and Oklahoma State, Colorado, Fresno State, Florida State, Syracuse, Georgetown, Creighton. Man, there's a lot of games going off there. You know what? Grand Canyon at New Mexico is a good game. A lot of good games coming up here. What are you going to play?
Yeah, I like Oklahoma State a lot. They've won 11 straight at home, so they're really good at home. You're getting them basically pick a -1.5. They've lost 5 straight to Baylor, but Baylor's okay. But Big 12 is tough to win on the road. It really is. I don't like, even with Kansas, I don't like betting on the road with a Big 10 team. Now I'm getting one that's halfway decent at home and basically pick them. I do like them. I'm not going to buy into this Kansas thing. Listen, you can count on one hand how many times they've been a home underdog under Bill Self, and he's been there for 20 years or so. But you know what? They've already lost at home this year. They lost a couple of games last year at home. Peterson kid is playing, but there are some issues there that, you know what? If they're making Iowa State game a favor,
they can't shoot.
Them a favor for
That's
reason.
their issue.
Yeah.
Kansas, in the past, they had Grady Dick before, right? And other guys. In the past, Kansas has sort of had a guy that could just pop a 3 and stick a 3 for them, no problem.
Yeah.
They haven't had that for a couple of years. And this new NIL stuff, they've gotten more athletic, and, they're bringing in these mercenary kids, but none of them can shoot, right? Yeah. It's a problem. You know what I mean? A lot of these modern basketball players, they can do everything except shoot. It's funny because it's kind of a big part of the game. But they can't.
A little bit. Yeah.
Look at Kentucky. It's the same thing. $23 million. All right, they're all AAU stars, and this kid's 6'10", and this kid's that. Well, whatever. They're shooting 26% from 3 or whatnot, right? So that's what, let's call it up what it is. This is what modern basketball comes down to, basically. Can you shoot or not, right? You can be athletic, and I get that, but you got to be able to shoot in today's day and age. And Kansas, that's their problem. Right, they just don't have these sort of little clean runs where they hit 3 or 4 threes in a row, and they got to fight for their points. But Peterson really is a stud if you watch this kid. He hasn't played much, but when he plays, he's the real deal. He single-handedly won that game for him last week, Scott, when they were down by 9 to TCU with a minute left. Right. He took over in the last minute. And you know what it showed me a lot is he got fouled taking a 3 with no time on the clock, and he drained 3 free throws in a row to send it to overtime. That was impressive.
Yeah. There's issues there, though. If Self came out as he did and kind of called them out, there's some serious issues. I like Alabama, too. This is a road team. I don't mind laying 4.5 at Mississippi State.
That one I agree with,
over, but the overs are just too high in Alabama games. They're just 172.5 or so. I can't do that. But I think Alabama wins the game. So I like them laying 4.5.
I wanted to take I agree with you. I think Alabama will beat Mississippi State and cover. Florida and Oklahoma, similar situation. It's kind of intriguing here. You figure, okay, there should be points in this game. I'm not sure Oklahoma will be able to score much on Florida. They'll score, but Oklahoma's numbers were very overinflated. They literally played church schools from Oklahoma or whatnot. Like they played every Baptist and
Oklahoma
Methodist they
Baptist,
could find, Scott. Yeah, like you know what I mean? Like I saw their schedule before conference play was ranked 315th in the country, Scott.
Oof.
It's pretty low, bro. Like, yeah, like they literally, like I said, they literally played cupcake teams. And now they're in the SEC. They're like 1-4, whatever, bro. That's what happens. You're not ready for it. Like, Florida should roll them, even though it's in Norman.
Yeah. All right, hour number 2 coming up next here on the Grid.
It's going to open up Pandora's box. But I will say this. I do believe players that sign now, like Najee, should not be eligible now, but should have to sit out and come back in next year. It's just a slippery slope. And I agree with people like Tom Izzo. I don't like it at all.
College basketball today. Only on SportsGrid.
OK Dubs has to go back to his roots. I'm not a Jets fan, I'm not a Giants fan, and neither one of those teams even play in New York. But I'm a New Yorker through and through, despite where my mail gets sent. And I will not stand for the Jets to be dragged through the mud in this way. Not gonna happen. So Dante Moore, if you do leave, you should be so lucky to fly the plane.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Maybe the fact was that the kicker just blew a 44-yard field goal. Now, by the way, I feel horrible for this kid, Tyler Loop, who made every single field goal this season 44 yards or less. But the extra point that was missed just before that by Chris Boswell was the only extra point that he missed all season long. So did they bless that same holy water when Boswell missed the extra point? Come on, guys. Let's get it.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
The Steelers get their touchdown, and they miss the extra point. It was Lamar Jackson who made the plays to get the Ravens into what should have been easy field goal territory. So explain to me how in the world we can look at last night's game as, well, there you go, can't trust Lamar Jackson.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. It is in-game live game day here on the Grid. Hour number 2, Scott and Gabe. We got George Kurtz, SportsGrid host, coming up in about a half hour or so. We'll talk some hockey, maybe a little NFL preview with him. We got one of our better betting systems, although we may put the whammy on it, the coaches fired system. We came on the air. We talked about how Columbus fired their head coach, Dean Evison, and you got to play them.
I warned you, Wetzel. I warned you. I said it ain't done when it was 2-0. I said, well, let's see what happens here. It's 2-0.
It's 2-2 now.
See, they had the adrenaline. They had the adrenaline of the coach being
the first
fired.
Period.
Now it's like 40 minutes, Scott. It's kicked in. All right, we're not very good. Like, doesn't matter who the coach is.
Yeah, exactly. Reality set in. We're not.
So where does it go? Last night, you got saved. You got saved in overtime last night.
Yeah. Oh no, they lost. Remember they let Carolina lost.
Oh, you went. Sorry, that's right. You went against the celebration. My bad. Yeah, you were on Carolina and you came back and you lost. So, are you going to come back and lose again? And are your systems going to go 0-2 in 2 consecutive nights?
It's rare when the systems go 0-2. No, that can't happen. That cannot happen.
So you're saying it's a stone cold lock. Columbus still win this game. They still win this game.
Gonna win.
And don't forget, that was the theme last night. Detroit blew the lead, ended up winning the game after.
Yeah, that's right. They did. Exactly.
That was my point. It's like last night. So it's like they blew the lead. You know what I mean? So it's the same scenario. But we got some games coming up here. I do like that Alabama. It's not part of my pickup, but I will lay. I got it at 3.5 here. I'll lay 3.5 with Alabama on the road at Mississippi State. But what do you got?
All right, late night pickoff. Here we go. I'll start with some hockey stuff. I'll go over 6.5 Dallas and Anaheim. Boy, I tell you what, the Ducks have hit a wall here. They've had such a great season so far, but not lately. They've lost 9 straight. I won't go against them with that. They're at home after a road trip, but they've been producing nothing but overs as well. 8 straight overs. You know, winners bet with streaks, losers bet against streaks. Pick a streak. Maybe you could play both. I won't do that. Also 11-1 over the last 12 at home. Dallas is on an 8-4 over run. That's why I'll go with the over, and maybe Anaheim wins it. But this has got 4-3, 5-3, 6-4, whatever written all over it.
All right, I'm going to start off in the National Hockey League as well. And if you guys recall, listen, it was an NFL playoff game last night, but Colorado played. We sort of briefly brought it up, like flipped. I said, oh yeah, by the way, Colorado wearing the Nordique jerseys tonight, and I also said, be careful tonight. I had a feeling, Scott, the Leafs were live last night. Sort of like Oklahoma City, bro. Like Colorado aren't going to win every game. Like, you know what I mean? So they got caught last night. But if you think about it, guys, in the NBA, and they don't do it, you notice teams, the back-to-back. It doesn't happen all the time in the NBA. When it does, it's like, what's the worst possible back-to-back you can have? Salt Lake City and freaking Denver. Oof. Man, so last night, the Toronto Maple Leafs played last night. Big win, man, against the best team in the NHL, the Colorado Avalanche. Now they got to turn around, get on a plane, and go to Salt Lake City, which is also altitude. Don't tell me as this game goes on, man, that they're not going to start to, their lungs aren't going to start to be like, dear God, let's get back to Toronto. Like, this is crazy, right? Like, they're going to kick in. They already got the big win last night. And you got the Utah Mammoth sitting at home waiting tonight. Classic letdown spot. Give me the Utah Mammoth tonight, Scott.
Yep. Watch the end of that game. They celebrated like there was no tomorrow. I'm going to go NBA here. Under 232.5 Atlanta and the LA Lakers. Tempted to take the Hawks as we talked with the coach. 3-0 straight up and against the spread. 2 of those wins coming on the road since they traded Trae Young. But you know what? I just don't trust them laying 2.5. So let me go with the under. Here's why. 3 games since the trade, they've allowed 100 points, 87 points, and 111. For NBA standards, that's pretty darn good. And what's been the knock, as you've been saying all along, Trae Young doesn't play defense. Maybe the mentality is, okay, you know what? We're going to win on defense. So win, lose, or draw.
It is 232.5.
Yes. I'm going to go with the under.
It is. The Atlanta Hawks play defense now. That's why they're like, yeah, we don't even want this guy back. Like, he screws everything up. Right? So they actually do. Another team that plays defense, guys, is the Portland Trailblazers. They're another one, surprisingly. A bunch of young dudes, they get in your face like they really have. If you look over the last 2 weeks, the Blazers have one of the best defensive metrics in the NBA. I'm in the Pacific Northwest, so I get a lot of Blazers. I've been watching every Blazer game. I'm almost becoming a mini Blazer fan, Scott. I'm a Raptor fan, but Blazers are growing on me because they're becoming like, you know what I mean? It's my local TV team. Yeah, they're fun. Yeah, and they play hard and stuff. But all right, NHL hockey. So Scott brought it up, the Ducks. Listen, man, the Ducks this team's an automatic over, man. Guys, 31-14 to the over on the season, 9-1 to the over in their last 10 games. They got a Dallas Star team to 6-3-1 to the over in their last 10 games. But one thing about the Ducks, guys, and me and Scott have talked about it, reality has kicked in. Right? Reality has kicked in a big way, man. This team has lost 9 straight hockey games. They haven't won since December the 20th. Wow. It's been a disaster for the Anaheim Ducks, like on the road, at home, whatnot. Now you got a Dallas Star team that not playing as well as they would like. And even though they're 27-10-9, and they have such a high standard, they're always in a bad mood, this team. But they had a losing streak, right? They lost like 7 in a row, 6 in a row. And then they won and then lost. Now, they're coming off a win, guys, against the LA Kings on Saturday night or 2 nights ago. So they've already been in LA, Scott. And the Ducks have been on the road, right? So Dallas is a better team. They've already been in LA, same hotel stuff. It's like we just talked about the worst road trip in the NHL. Like, oh, God, you got to play Colorado and Utah back-to-back? You got to be kidding me. What's the easiest back-to-back / or even day-off road trip? Dude, L.A. and the Ducks. Like, you know what I mean? It's like you're in the same city. You don't change hotels. It's like, okay, you set up shop for 3 days in a city, 4 days in a city. Like Michigan guys, when they went and played USC and UCLA, the games were separated by like a 5-day span, 4-day span. What a tough life for the Michigan Wolverines, Scott. They stayed at the Beverly Hilton.
Wow.
They stayed in Beverly Hills for 5 days and played 2 games.
5 rounds of golf.
And they won them both. They won them both. So it really is like harder. It is true. And if you're UCLA, you ain't staying at the Beverly Hilton, Detroit. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, man, we're going to Rutgers. Like, this sucks. So if you're Michigan, you're like, oh, we're staying at the Beverly Hilton for 5 days, guys. And it's almost like, man, they're putting us up in the Beverly Hilton in Beverly Hills. We better win the game. And then they did. They won them both, you know?
I'm going to go. We talked about it, Oklahoma State laying 1.5 against Baylor. I don't know why Baylor's getting all this love. They're 10-5. They've lost 3 in a row. 2 have been at home. You look at their schedule, and anybody worth anything, for the most part, they lost, right? Houston lost. Iowa State lost. TCU lost. Memphis lost. St. John's lost. They beat Creighton, which isn't too bad. But other than that, nothing. You know, the UT Rio Grande. And again, I'm getting Oklahoma State that doesn't lose at home for the most part. I'll take them laying 1.5 tonight.
I don't disagree with that either. I'm going to go over 1.5. We were talking about the Stars and Ducks and all the goals that they can score. The game's going to go over as well. But I like the first period bets often. So let's go over 1.5 for the first period. I think it gets there in that game.
Yeah. They do like the over first periods and some of those things. I don't play it often. It's one of those, I don't know why. I usually, you know what, I put 30 other bets in, and by the time I get those, I go, all right, I got enough. I don't need to go first period also. But I do like that as well.
It's like
it's
the crack cocaine of sports betting in a way. But it's almost, the real crack one is, will there be a goal in the first 9.5 minutes, right? That's the first, that's sort of like the first bet you can make. I'm sure you have, and so do I. Love those in the playoffs. I love betting in the playoffs.
Exactly.
No goal.
Exactly.
No goal in the first 10 minutes. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, I'll get ballsy and do it the first 5. Every once in a while, I'll do it first 5.
It's like the old, will there be a run in the first inning? But see, you and I are old school, where that used to be like, people used to tell me, oh, you're crazy, Morency. Will there be a run in the first inning? It's not that crazy, Scott. In reality now, like the real psychos, these kids are playing like first basket of the game and stuff. That's crazy to me. I'm like, I don't do that one. That's too extreme. I'm not going to start like getting mad about I didn't play the first basket of the game right.
Yeah, or first pitch, whether it's a ball or strike.
Yeah,
they really can't do it, right? Crazy. All right, look at the board when we come back.
It's going to open up Pandora's box. But I will say this. I do believe players that sign now, like Najee, should not be eligible now, but should have to sit out and come back in next year. It's just a slippery slope. And I agree with people like Tom Izzo. I don't like it at all.
College basketball today. Only on SportsGrid.
OK Dubs has to go back to his roots. I'm not a Jets fan, I'm not a Giants fan, and neither one of those teams even play in New York. But I'm a New Yorker through and through, despite where my mail gets sent. And I will not stand for the Jets to be dragged through the mud in this way. Not gonna happen. So Dante Moore, if you do leave, you should be so lucky to fly the plane.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Maybe the fact was that the kicker just blew a 44-yard field goal. Now, by the way, I feel horrible for this kid, Tyler Loop, who made every single field goal this season 44 yards or less. But the extra point that was missed just before that by Chris Boswell was the only extra point that he missed all season long. So did they bless that same holy water when Boswell missed the extra point? Come on, guys. Let's get it.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
The Steelers get their touchdown, and they miss the extra point. It was Lamar Jackson who made the plays to get the Ravens into what should have been easy field goal territory. So explain to me how in the world we can look at last night's game as, well, there you go, can't trust Lamar Jackson.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe, let's get some winners, including in college or in the NHL, where our coaches fired system getting a little bit of a bounce as Zach Werenski scoring for the Columbus Blue Jackets. 12 and a half minutes left, and Columbus has regained the lead 3-2 over Calgary. Big news this afternoon, Gabe. Mike Tomlin decides he's going to step down, and I do think it was a Tomlin thing. I don't think it was really behind the scenes of mutual. Who knows? Maybe it was, but I don't get the sense it was Pittsburgh saying, hey, we're going to fire you, so let's step down. I think this was just honestly a Mike Tomlin thing, saying he's had enough for whatever reason. So we got another opening. What do we got? 9 openings now in the NFL. How about that's almost a third of the league, for goodness sakes.
There have been 6 popes in the time that the Pittsburgh Steelers have fired a coach.
Think about that.
Okay.
Think about that.
So,
that's pretty good.
I'm just saying, Scott. Yeah. Think about that. 6 popes. 6. Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, Mike Tomlin.
That's it.
And it's so it's pretty wild.
On the next guy. How much pressure is going to be on the next guy?
Yeah,
right?
And for all you jackass Steeler fans that wanted Tomlin gone, okay.
Yeah.
You think your next coach is going to go win 10 games for the next 19 years in a row? Good luck with that.
Yeah.
And I brought it up last night, Scott. I said, man, look at Rodgers. You could tell it's over. Like, you could tell it was done for him. He's retiring. Right? The fact that the Houston Texan players were all going up to him. Rodgers was Johnny Cool after the game. Rodgers went into the crowd after, Scott. Like, he went, like, literally, giving wristbands to people, and some kid was dressed up as him in a uniform, and he was laughing it up with the fans, and he was literally, like, Rodgers, bro, doesn't take selfies with people and stuff. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Like, he was all like, yeah, I think Tomlin knew this is it. Rodgers is gone. These jackass fans are always calling me out. I'm tired. I have a cheap owner that doesn't spend money on players, and we don't have a quarterback, right? I think he saw, like, I've had enough. I'm just out. Like, I'm worn out. I'm tired of this. I'm done. Word is originally, and I don't, whatever. I'm not going to lie to you guys like I have some inside thing, but reports are that Tomlin is not in a hurry to coach. Like, it's not like, oh, yeah, like, he's in this coaching cycle, like, talk now. He isn't. There's a lot of talk about him doing TV for the playoffs, and networks are offering big money and all this type of stuff. But money talks, Scott, right? And I don't care who you are. The guy's 52 years old, bro. 52, 53. Like, he's
young.
Yeah, I think he's 52. Like, he's whatever, his birthday coming up. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not old, guys. Like, so I'm telling you right now, like, if I'm the Atlanta Falcons, you got Bijan Robinson. You can figure out the quarterback situation. If you don't want Penix, whatever, what we can do, but we got such a good roster here. You got a great young defense. You got an owner that's willing to spend money. You're in a very manageable division. You're dealing with Carolina, Tampa Bay, and New Orleans. It's a turnkey operation, the same way Brady was smart, Scott, that he went to Tampa. That was by design, right? Brady had offers from a lot of teams, right? And he saw, you know what? I go to Tampa, we win a division, we get into the playoffs. Right? Tic-tac-toe. He saw the path, right? And if I'm the listen, the Dallas Cowboys and Mike Tomlin are a perfect fit, but that's not going to happen. I'm talking available job. And the New York Giants, Scott, they are dying for credibility, right? They're going to hire Mike McCarthy. And then Harbaugh came along, and now they got the hot for trots for Harbaugh. Now you got Tomlin. But in my opinion, I don't know how you feel about it. Hell, you're Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Offer Tomlin $20 million, like real money. Like, all right, the highest paid coach is Peyton at 16 or whatever. You're the highest paid coach in the history of football, Mike. And we'll give you player personnel, not control, whatever. You know what I mean? Advisor, you know what I mean? You're going to have control, in the talks here. You're going to run the team. I don't know if he says no. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's hard to, man. You all want to step away, but even the great Belichick is a good example. Who's better than him, right? He's a forgotten figure. 1 year out of the league, and he's a forgotten. Has there been?
But don't you think that Tomlin
could
don't you think he could use a year off to get rejuvenated and then come back next year? That's what I'm thinking with Tomlin.
Maybe. maybe a year away, he said, well, this isn't too bad. I'm making $20 million a year, working TV on Sundays, sitting next to, 5 guys.
Yeah, Amazon, they got a lot of money.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. He actually interviewed for the Dolphins. You think about the Dolphins. Don't get me started. He interviewed for the Dolphin job before he got the Steeler job, and they said, no, we're not impressed. How could you not be impressed with Mike Tomlin, right? I mean,
so
how in the world?
Maybe he'll remember that. Mike Tomlin, the type of guy, Scott, that would be like, oh, you weren't impressed, Mr. Ross, with me. I remember that. Like, no.
Dolphins had Ben Johnson on their staff. Didn't keep him. They had Dan Campbell.
Okay, listen, I'm not saying the Raiders is a crappy job, right? It's a crappy job.
Ooh,
but what if they just say, listen, man, Mike Tomlin, you want to be the coach of the Raiders, we'll give you $20 million a year. All right?
Yeah.
And we'll be patient with you. You can build your team. Who do you want as quarterback? You want Mendoza? You want this? They have a number 1 pick in the draft. You got Ashton Genty. You got Ashton Genty, the number 1 pick in the draft.
You got the Chiefs, the Broncos, and the Chargers.
That's the problem, where it's like, whoa.
That's tough.
Whoa.
That's AFC North was tough, but that's really tough. There's no Browns and there's no dopey Bengals team screwing up all the time in those threesomes.
So what about the Steelers?
So I like, the
Falcons
Giants. I like the Falcons.
Giants makes a hell of a lot of sense. Yeah, to me, Scott, that's what I was saying. Atlanta Falcons, from a football and a credible and everything, dude, he can coach, man. The Steelers haven't had players. Players love him. He will get, that's why Dallas are kind of flat all the time, man. Like Tomlin on the sidelines, he get these guys fired up. Tomlin in Atlanta just is perfect for me. I mean, guys, you win a division, maybe you win the Super Bowl next year type thing. You catch lightning in a bottle, right, with Tomlin. Giants makes a lot of, I tweeted right away, Scott. I said, if I'm the Giants, I'm going all in. I'm just going to, I'll give you, if I'm the Giants, I give them complete control, Scott. I'd be like, whatever you want to do, sir, here's the money. You run the team.
I don't even know if he wants to, Gabe. I've never heard any stories in Pittsburgh anyway about him being upset because he didn't have any say.
Omar Khan ran the team, Scott. That's the thing. The GM, he didn't. You're right. He did not run the team. He coached who they gave him.
Have any issue. Yeah. So that's why the Giants, I think, would be a perfect fit. So interesting. All right, more coming up.
We got the odds on the other side. Yeah, we got the odds.
Odds on the other side.
It's going to open up Pandora's box. But I will say this. I do believe players that sign now, like Najee, should not be eligible now, but should have to sit out and come back in next year. It's just a slippery slope. And I agree with people like Tom Izzo. I don't like it at all.
College basketball today. Only on SportsGrid.
OK Dubs has to go back to his roots. I'm not a Jets fan, I'm not a Giants fan, and neither one of those teams even play in New York. But I'm a New Yorker through and through, despite where my mail gets sent. And I will not stand for the Jets to be dragged through the mud in this way. Not gonna happen. So Dante Moore, if you do leave, you should be so lucky to fly the plane.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Maybe the fact was that the kicker just blew a 44-yard field goal. Now, by the way, I feel horrible for this kid, Tyler Loop, who made every single field goal this season 44 yards or less. But the extra point that was missed just before that by Chris Boswell was the only extra point that he missed all season long. So did they bless that same holy water when Boswell missed the extra point? Come on, guys. Let's get it.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
The Steelers get their touchdown, and they miss the extra point. It was Lamar Jackson who made the plays to get the Ravens into what should have been easy field goal territory. So explain to me how in the world we can look at last night's game as, well, there you go, can't trust Lamar Jackson.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day on the Grid, talking some NFL. And we'll update the Calgary score. We're going to have to sweat this one out.
Oh, boy, I knew this. This is going to go to a
3-3.
shootout. I'm going to get a little sprinkle in on will this game go in overtime. It's writing itself, Scott. It's going to go to overtime.
Yeah, it really
Columbus
is.
wins in
But that's
overtime.
okay.
Dramatic first game without the coach.
Yeah, they'll lift Rick Bonus on on their shoulders and skate him off.
Nah, he'll tell him,
like
get the hell
Rudy.
off of me.
Yeah, you're gonna kill me. I'm 70 years old.
Come on, guys. I got an ulcer here. Like, you know what I mean? If you remember, the last time he was coach, it was like the Jets. He looked worn out. Like, he looked like a ghost, like during the press conference. It was like, dude, like, he can't do this anymore. Like, stop rolling him out. Like, he's worn out. Like, he actually stepped aside. Like, I can't do this anymore. And now they bring him back in. It's like the mob. They Scott, like, that's the NHL coach. Like, it's easier to get out of the mafia than it is the NHL. Like,
I went out and they bring me back in.
Look at Michel Therrien. He got hired like 2 times. Claude Julien 2 times in Montreal alone. Just back and forth. It's like Billy Martin, right?
Billy Martin.
Stop All
right, so what are the odds for Pittsburgh? What do we got for the Steelers? What are some of the odds on some of these coaches?
The favorite for the Pittsburgh Steelers right now, according to Bet365, Brian Flores, former Miami Dolphin coach, Minnesota Viking defensive coordinator Brian Flores.
He was at Pittsburgh before he went to Minnesota.
Chris Shula, who actually is interviewed, from what I understand, for the Dolphins job. Little Shula connection there.
Yeah.
Marcus Freeman is plus 400. I'm surprised the odds are this low for Freeman. Now, Freeman keeps on talking about liking Notre Dame, but Scott, like, wasn't this a perfect fit? If you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, you're resetting. There's no Tomlin. Aaron Rodgers gone. You get a young quarterback. You bring in Marcus Freeman. It's not a bad, like, that. You know what I mean? If you're a Steeler fan, like, I would take that in a freaking heartbeat. But you and I both know Freeman likes Notre Dame. He's been offered NFL jobs before, and he doesn't even take the call. Like, he goes, thanks for the call, but no. Like, he doesn't. And I don't know if you saw this, guys. They all reported, all the NFL guys have reported that NFL teams have told Freeman, you don't need to go through the interview process.
Wow.
How wild is that? Like, you don't need to come and present anything to us. Like, guys, like, all these coaches, like, they show up with a presentation, man. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, this is what I think about
roster,
this.
You got it.
Yeah, this is what I think about this and these players, and this is my philosophy for the draft, and this is what I would do with your contract. Like, you know what I mean? You come in with a business plan. They told him, no process. Job offered, yes or no. Like on the phone, Scott, type thing. Like, Freeman is that in demand. The teams are like, no. Like, we're not making them jump through hoops. Like, offer him the job. Like, basically they're saying, do you want to come in and negotiate a contract? That's what teams ask them. They don't ask them to present things. They're like, do you want to come in and talk about money? Or like, and he says, no, I'm happy in Notre Dame. Never leaves. But man, Pittsburgh Steelers, Scott. Pittsburgh Steelers, bro. It's a pretty big brand.
You had a good one. You had a good idea. Go ahead. I want to steal your thunder about the Pittsburgh Steelers job. What do you think?
Oh, in which I don't know if I have a lot of which one. So what was the idea?
With who's from Pittsburgh? What college coaches from Pittsburgh?
Oh yeah, from college. Oh yeah, just for the record, Kurt Cignetti, Indiana's coach, is from Pittsburgh.
Yeah. How about that? Maybe that's why he turned down the Penn State job, which he could have had, because he knew in the back of his mind, maybe, these coaches are all close. He knew just maybe he wins a national championship, and now he could be a head coach. Gabe, his family is all coaches. His father was a coach, brother's a coach. He grew up in Pittsburgh.
And if
that had
Indiana,
to be his absolute dream job.
You're right, growing up. But I don't know if he's more of a college guy, though. He's more of a college guy.
He is.
But I'm going to say this, Scott. Normally, imagine this. Indiana, like the losingest program ever type of deal, whatever, all that type of stuff. You couldn't hate him if he left, if you're an Indiana fan.
Oh, no.
Very similar to me being a Raptor fan of Kawhi Leonard. It's like, he left, but we won a championship. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, no, you can't. Like, Harbaugh left. Harbaugh left Michigan after they won. He left. Like, he's like, all right, see you. I'm going to the NFL. I won a championship. Cignetti wouldn't owe Indiana anything. And if you're an Indiana fan, you build enough of a statue with a guy. And you say, thank God that we had Kirk Cignetti here for 2 years.
For 2 years. This has been Nirvana. Win, lose, or draw next Monday. Doesn't even matter if he doesn't win.
But, Well, you and I asked Bowden about this, and he shot it down. I asked Bowden about this a couple of weeks ago. I said, what do you think about sitting out of the NFL? And he said, nah, he's a college guy. He wouldn't like it.
Next time we have him on, and I'm sure we will, I want to ask him why him and his family. I'm sure that whole family had overtures from the NFL.
Oh, good question. That'd be a good question. If Bobby Bowden was ever offered a Tampa Bay Buccaneers job or something, yeah.
Right?
Good question, yeah.
It's going to open up Pandora's box. But I will say this. I do believe players that sign now, like Najee, should not be eligible now, but should have to sit out and come back in next year. It's just a slippery slope. And I agree with people like Tom Izzo. I don't like it at all.
College basketball today. Only on SportsGrid.
Okay, Dubs has to go back to his roots. I'm not a Jets fan, I'm not a Giants fan, and neither one of those teams even play in New York. But I'm a New Yorker through and through, despite where my mail gets sent. And I will not stand for the Jets to be dragged through the mud in this way. Not gonna happen. So Dante Moore, if you do leave, you should be so lucky to fly the plane.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Maybe the fact was that the kicker just blew a 44-yard field goal. Now, by the way, I feel horrible for this kid, Tyler Loop, who made every single field goal this season 44 yards or less. But the extra point that was missed just before that by Chris Boswell was the only extra point that he missed all season long. So did they bless that same holy water when Boswell missed the extra point? Come on, guys. Let's get it.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
The Steelers get their touchdown, and they miss the extra point. It was Lamar Jackson who made the plays to get the Ravens into what should have been easy field goal territory. So explain to me how in the world we can look at last night's game as, well, there you go, can't trust Lamar Jackson.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe, hour number 2. Keeping an eye on it all. Talking a little NFL. So let's bring in our good buddy, SportsGrid host. You see it here all the time, Mr. George Kurtz. Talk a little pucks, a little NFL with him. George, we were talking to Mike Tomlin resignation this afternoon and throwing out some odds and some guys who might be filling these positions.
Who's the coach going to be, Kurtz? Who's the coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers going to be? Give me a name and I'll give you the odds. Who's the coach going to be?
You got to think they're going to want an offensive guy. I think, how about Stefanski? Same division, knows how to run an offense. I think Stefanski.
I'm going to throw up, and I'm not even a Pittsburgh Steeler fan. Kevin Stefanski is 16-1 for the record. 16-1. So these are the odds. Brian Flores plus 300. Chris Shula plus 400. Marcus Freeman plus 400. Jesse Minter, who I think would be a great fit, plus 600. John Harbaugh plus 900. Robert Salah plus 900. Anthony Weaver 10-1. Jeff Havley 10-1. Looking at this though, so you know what, guys? So look, Brian Flores is the favorite here. I brought this up before, guys. Brian Flores sued the NFL, right?
He's suing the NFL.
Team, yeah, he still is, or whatever. The whole thing, exactly. So you know what I'm saying? Like he's contentious with the league. You know, he had the issue with the Dolphins, etc. If there's one team, Scott and George, that don't care about that, it'd be the Raiders, right? Al Davis always voted against. Like, if you told Al Davis, like, oh, yeah, the 31 other owners say the sky is black at night, he'd go, no, it isn't. And he'd vote no. Right. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you remember, Scott, he literally voted no to everything they did. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Like, whatever it was, he was the lone dissent. No. No. All the time.
How about this approach, though, guys?
Sorry, Scott, let me just say, The Roonies are the opposite, Scott. Dude, the Roonies ain't hiring a guy that freaking is suing the NFL. That ain't happening.
No, just the opposite, Gabe. I'm thinking the NFL is going to the Roonies.
Oh, the Rooney rule.
You got to take one for the
go all
team,
the way
guys.
out. Oh, yeah.
You got to take one for the team. We got to end this lawsuit because
Well, you're almost a hypocrite now, Scott. You got something here, bro. You're almost a hypocrite if you don't hire a black coach. You guys are the one called the Rooney rule.
And we're going to go to
That's why you know they want Marcus Freeman. Good call, Scott. Good call. Reverse psychology. It's like opposite picks for coaching picks. Yeah, I like it. Reverse psychology. I still.
I'll give you another guy though. I'll take the more offensive side again. How about Clint Kubiak? Could see him being an option as well.
Clint Kubiak. Clint Kubiak's name's coming up with other teams. But you know what? For the Steelers, he's 40-1, George. Yet for other teams, he's like not 40-1. Like he's your Dolphins. Are you wondering about your Dolphins, Scott? The favorite.
Chris Shula.
Oh yeah, you want Shula for the Dolphins? Yeah, so you want that, George? I brought it up. Yeah,
I don't know if I want Shula. It would be a good story.
Mike Tomlin, 10-1 to be the coach of the Dolphins. 10-1. Mike Tomlin's on the list now.
Mike Tomlin's not coaching this year.
Scott is the favorite.
No one's.
Jeff Hafley.
Tomlin's going to be on TV this year. Remember, Tomlin quit. He didn't get fired. You're going to have to offer a lot to get the Steelers to let him go. As at least a 1 and a 2. It's what the Broncos got for Sean Payton. So it's going to cost a lot to get Tomlin. I don't think Tomlin's going to
No, the Steelers aren't going to hook him up. Like what's the deal with that? Like they're not going to go to war with him, Scott.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
It's not that you're going to want equal value. You're going to want value for him. You're not going to let him go, especially with a team in the. Maybe it'd be a little less if he went to the Giants, because the Giants are another long-term owner with the Maras, and I think the Maras and the Roonies are somewhat tight.
Yeah.
So maybe they wouldn't hold them over the coals. But I don't see him letting the Dolphins, the team in the AFC. Like, there's no way in hell Tomlin's going to the Ravens. All right, that's never going to happen. Not this year.
You saw they asked the Raven coach that today. Sorry, the owner.
That'd be funny.
Today. The Raven. Yeah, the owner by chance is doing a freaking press conference when Tomlin stepped down today. Scott, can you believe that? And they said, "Well, Coach Tomlin's available. What do you think about Tomlin being the coach of the Ravens?" They without missing a beat. He goes, "I'll hire him to be the coach if Pittsburgh." Hires
John goes
Harbaugh.
to Pittsburgh, yeah.
Yeah, he goes in. Can you imagine? They switch? No,
that would be funny.
I'm with you, though. I don't think, I brought it up, Kurt's off top. I don't think Tomlin wants to coach this year. So his names are going to be on these lists. But I think, listen, Miami Dolphins, you got John Harbaugh plus 275. Jeff Hafley, you're the Dolphin fan, Scott, so I'll throw it to you. Hafley is, of course, the offensive coordinator of the Green Bay Packers. Mike McCarthy is plus 750. Vance Joseph is plus 750. My boy Jesse Minter is plus 850. Jesse Minter's a Michigan guy, too, guys, so don't forget the connection with Stephen Ross. Mike Tomlin, 10-1. Cliff Kingsbury, 12-1. Stefanski, 14-1. Chris Shula, 16-1. What do you think, Scott, about the Dolphins?
Yeah, most of those guys I'm not too thrilled with. I would take Harbaugh, but I'm not a big Harbaugh fan. I might take a flyer on Minter, but, that's a little young. I was reading some things about Stephen Ross. Like, he wants a young guy because he thinks that you get more effort out of him versus a veteran guy. But, we've been down that road so many times.
So Minter matches that. And, dude, Minter is the opposite of McDaniel. Like, Minter ain't going to show up like Miami Vice after a couple of months. This guy's a hard-ass kid. He's a hard guy. You know what I mean?
That's what I want. And that Michigan connection is there. So I'd be okay with that. I definitely would take Tomlin. I would. But it's got to be someone of
Is there a team, guys, that you think that this is going to be the next coach? Like, is there a team that's sort of like, yeah, I would bet that. That's the one that like catches my eye the most. Like the Atlanta Falcons.
Living in New York, we know the Giants are heavy after Harbaugh. They've already wanted and dined him up the wazoo. Right.
You know that, George, right? Maras want a credible name. They wanted McCarthy before. Then they heard Harbaugh's available. So it was like, Harbaugh's even better like McCarthy. You know what I mean? Like,
they can have McCarthy. You want McCarthy? He's all yours. Good luck.
So these are the odds. Yeah. These are the odds. John, and sorry, you like my idea, Tomlin with the Cowboys. I know it's not going to happen, but it would be fun with Tomlin. He'd get the best out of them.
Tomlin, because when was the last time the Cowboys? I'm not even counting McCarthy as a real head coach. JJ doesn't do it. He's not going to hire. somebody who has credibility or cachet.
Spreads, McCarthy. It's not that bad.
But McCarthy had no choice, right? Because he couldn't say boo to Jerry because he wasn't going to get any other jobs. Tomlin can get any job he wants. He doesn't need to take the crap from Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones got a press conference. Jerry Jones being in these meetings. Tomlin's not taking that. It's not happening.
Tomlin's too
Plus,
popular
JJ
for
wants to
Jerry. It would bust
games.
his ego up.
And Tomlin has a better personality than JJ.
That's the thing. It would hurt him that people like Tomlin, Ben Moore, and like them. But for the Giants guys, Harbaugh's the overwhelming favorite. Harbaugh's minus 150. Kevin Stefanski plus 300. Mike McCarthy 12-1. Jeff Hafley 25-1. Jesse Minter 25-1. Cliff Kingsbury 25-1
I don't think he gets
Cliff
it.
Kingsbury.
Kingsbury, New
York.
I don't think he gets it either. But I don't know why. I don't think he gets it either. I don't think he's going there. Just to screw over the Giants.
Give me a pick. Who do you got, Kurtz? Giants on this board. Give me a pick.
The Giants, I hope it's McCarthy, just because I want to laugh here. I think listen, they want Harbaugh. They want him badly. And if I'm Harbaugh, by the way, the Giants are not a bad place to be because you got the quarterback, you got a good running back, the defense is getting better, defensive line, one of the best, and the division is sort of a mess. The division is sort of a mess, right? The Commanders fired the coordinators. Cowboys are a disaster. Eagles have some issues. Not a bad place to be. I just think Harbaugh. I'm going to play the field here with Harbaugh, right? Giants won, but so do the Atlanta Falcons, so do the Miami Dolphins. So I'm going to play the field there. I think the Giants are going to end up with McCarthy. I think they're going to get a little worried about Stefanski because I think they want a name there. I could see the Green Bay defensive coordinator, Hatley. I think he might be the surprise. If they don't go for the name guy or the former head coach, I think Hatley could be the guy.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think, Kurt?
Because he wants power.
What do you
think
Wetzel,
the Giants will give up the power? You know what? I still think Belichick's in the picture. When they get turned down by all these other people.
75-1.
No way. No, he's not
75-1, Scott. He's on the board. 75-1.
On the board. Why not?
No way.
He was so good at North Carolina last year. So,
but he's terrible.
Mine was
the last couple of years, and you got to deal with the girlfriend, their fiance, whatever the hell she is.
In New York, that's nothing.
You guys bring this girl into New York. Dear God, may help us all. She'll be on page 6 every day in the Post. Clint Kubiak plus 500 Atlanta. That's my sneaky pick. Clint Kubiak 500 Atlanta.
We'll talk some hockey with George on the other side.
It's going to open up Pandora's box. But I will say this. I do believe players that sign now, like Najee, should not be eligible now, but should have to sit out and come back in next year. It's just a slippery slope. And I agree with people like Tom Izzo. I don't like it at all.
College basketball today. Only on SportsGrid.
Okay, Dubs has to go back to his roots. I'm not a Jets fan, I'm not a Giants fan, and neither one of those teams even play in New York. But I'm a New Yorker through and through, despite where my mail gets sent. And I will not stand for the Jets to be dragged through the mud in this way. Not gonna happen. So Dante Moore, if you do leave, you should be so lucky to fly the plane.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Maybe the fact was that the kicker just blew a 44-yard field goal. Now, by the way, I feel horrible for this kid, Tyler Loop, who made every single field goal this season 44 yards or less. But the extra point that was missed just before that by Chris Boswell was the only extra point that he missed all season long. So did they bless that same holy water when Boswell missed the extra point? Come on, guys. Let's get it.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
The Steelers get their touchdown, and they miss the extra point. It was Lamar Jackson who made the plays to get the Ravens into what should have been easy field goal territory. So explain to me how in the world we can look at last night's game as, well, there you go, can't trust Lamar Jackson.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the Grid. Talking with George Kurtz, a little hockey, a little baseball stuff with him. But I will say 30 seconds left. Columbus scores up 4-3 with our coaches fired system. We got to survive the final 35 seconds. Oh, dramatic.
Oh. So listen, you talk about trends, so I brought it up. You want to talk about combined trends. Did you know, Kurtz, Connor McDavid's birthday today, right? So got Connor McDavid's birthday today. I didn't bring it up earlier, but it's still time because it's 3-3 after 2 periods, so we can get in on this game. The Edmonton Oilers are wearing cream-colored jerseys tonight that George Kurtz is not a fan of. But the Oilers are 5-0 when they wear these jerseys, Scott. So we got a birthday trend. We got the jersey trend, and now here is the coup de grace that I did not know about until I realized as I'm watching this game, bro. It's dad travel trip. The dads are there.
The greatest
dads are
trend
there
in hockey history. Oh,
dude, and Hyman scored 2 goals. Hyman's dad's all drinking, and all the dads are high-fiving in their Oiler gear up in the box up there in Nashville. For people who don't know, every year hockey teams bring their dads on the road for like a week or, whatever, 5 games. You know what I mean? A couple of games type of deal. And I've always thought, Scott, you love these angles. And Kurtz, will get your take. I've always preferred the mom's trip.
The mom's one,
I like them because they do a mom's trip. They used to do a dad's trip. People would have, and now they do a mom's trip as well. Think about it, guys. You're with your dad. What are you going to do?
Drinking.
Exactly, Scott. You read my mind. Not all dads, but these hockey dads are all sort of partiers, and they wish they were in the league. That's why their son is in the league. So it's like, Dad, you're going to live like an NHLer for a couple of days. We're going to the strip club after the game with the boys. We're going to go with the team, and we're going to go to the strip club. We're going to go eat like $1,000 steak dinner at this hotel, and I'm going to bring you to a club where you're going to see women you've never seen in your life before, right? And what are they going to do with the moms?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like okay, now what are you going to do? You'll be like, I go to bed, Mom. I'll see you in the morning. You know, you go shopping in the morning with her. You know what I mean? Like, you're not like, you think about it, Kurtz. You know what I mean? It's logic. My mom's on the road with us. Yeah, let's get some hookers, guys, at the hotel tonight. No. Like, you know what I mean? The dads, it's like, whoa, things can get wild. You know what I mean? I've always believed the mom's trip is the better one, Scott.
Yeah. And they keep wraps on this stuff, guys. It is not easy finding out when, you got to be in that town to really. We used to have a core.
Yeah, you got to be on top of it. You got to be on top of it.
You're responsible for this league, this division, and you got to try and find when the mom.
And hockey's the only sport, guys. You got to love it. Number one, hockey's the only sport, Kurtz. Me and Scott talked about that we would let 6-year-olds beat the living crap out of each other for minutes without stopping it at a Hershey Bear game. But hockey's like any other sport. They'd be like, Dad, you can't get wasted at my game on national television. Hockey, it's acceptable. Like basically, that's the thing. They show the dad's box and they're all double fisting drinks and they're all fired up and they're just hammered up there. They're hammered.
Got any winners for us, George, on the ice?
All right.
You got the Islanders going on now.
Second period.
Yeah, of course. On with I feel very proud of myself. I said tonight that I'm going to take. I want the under in the Pittsburgh game. I was very confident of that. We're going to get that here. I took Columbus tonight because of the coaching change. By the way, Scott, I thought about you. First, I bet you Scott has a coaching firing system. I'll do the Scotty thing. We'll take Columbus. That's going to go cash here. Of course. I took the Islanders tonight, and they were losing 3-0 at one point. Now it's 4-3, and I took the under. Well, if you're going to lose the under, at least you lose it quickly. It's good. That got killed. I'm not going to go close to that. So
what about the late games here? I'm just getting my pick now. You got Dallas Stars, and then you got the Leafs coming off the big win, Kurtz, going into Utah. Flat spot for the Leafs tonight, and in altitude.
They have points in 8 straight games. I took Utah, but they have points in 8 straight games, so it does worry me somewhat. But they're an older team. Maybe second half of back-to-back nights, they'll be a little slower tonight. So I did take Utah.
They're 3-4.
Dallas,
for the record, on back-to-backs, the Leafs this year. They're 3-4.
I took the over in the game. I was getting plus money on the over, so I did take the over. Hopefully, some goals in that game as well here. Dallas Anaheim. I took the star. I don't feel great about it. I took the Stars. Anaheim a little banged up. Did not see if Troy Terry is playing tonight. He's missed the last game with an upper body injury. Last I checked, he was day to day. They hadn't announced it yet. But since I'm playing Dallas tonight, I guess I'm hoping Terry is not playing.
Tampa Bay just wins in overtime, and Washington just wins in overtime over Montreal. Tampa Bay 11 in a row. Very quiet.
Washington wins? Man, Montreal blows the lead.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, 3-2.
Yeah, Montreal 2-0 the lead there. That was a big joke.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay, by the way, they played tonight without Braden Point. That's a big loss for both Tampa Bay and the Olympics. He's week to week, according to Cooper. So take for that one.
He'll be fine for the Olympics.
Whatever it means.
And
really got 2.5 weeks.
I know it's fine. Normally it'd be a big deal, but it's like, whatever, dude. Like, no offense to him, but it's like, all right, Sam Bennett, you're in, right? Mark Scheifele, you're in. Point is really good, but Canada's so deep, it'll be fine.
How about the Mets? What in the world is going on in this baseball world? $50 million for Kyle Tucker in a walk year. The dude hits 266 with 22 home runs. He's a 270 lifetime hitter with 25 homers. $50 million for Kyle Stinkin'
That doesn't
Tucker.
bother me. None of that bothers me. The problem is who's pitching? Can Kyle Tucker pitch? The Mets need pitching. Another hitter? Yeah. Okay, I guess he replaces Alonso. Fine. But you're also moving him to left field. Remember, he's a right fielder, and Soto's not moving. But I wonder where's the pitching? All right, you're not going to win by trying to win this, but I don't think he's going to go to the Mets because the Mets reports are they're offering about 3 times 50. So they're offering him more of an AAV.
That's a joke.
But apparently the Blue Jays came in with a big offer tonight. The more 8-year, 10-year deal. They didn't say how much, but my guess is it's going to be for about $40 million a year. And remember, Tucker's 32. He'll be 32 in about 4 days. So he's got to make up. He'll be 29. He'll be 32 at the end of the deal. So he's got to make up his mind.
He's 28 right now.
Do you want the short-term money? Oh, he's 29 in 4 days, so he's 29. But do you want the short-term money or the longer-term money? Because you're not going to get $250 million at 32 years old. It's not going to happen to make that up. So I think he's going to end up taking the Jays deal. Plus, the Jays playing a bandbox and they're a better team.
Wow. I think it's still wide open for him. I don't think the media knows anything. They haven't known anything the whole damn time.
Yeah. George, great job, man. Appreciate it. We'll talk again later in the week.
It's going to open up Pandora's box. But I will say this. I do believe players that sign now, like Najee, should not be eligible now, but should have to sit out and come back in next year. It's just a slippery slope. And I agree with people like Tom Izzo. I don't like it at all.
College basketball today. Only on SportsGrid.
OK Dubs has to go back to his roots. I'm not a Jets fan, I'm not a Giants fan, and neither one of those teams even play in New York. But I'm a New Yorker through and through, despite where my mail gets sent. And I will not stand for the Jets to be dragged through the mud in this way. Not gonna happen. So Dante Moore, if you do leave, you should be so lucky to fly the plane.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Maybe the fact was that the kicker just blew a 44-yard field goal. Now, by the way, I feel horrible for this kid, Tyler Loop, who made every single field goal this season 44 yards or less. But the extra point that was missed just before that by Chris Boswell was the only extra point that he missed all season long. So did they bless that same holy water when Boswell missed the extra point? Come on, guys. Let's get it.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
The Steelers get their touchdown, and they miss the extra point. It was Lamar Jackson who made the plays to get the Ravens into what should have been easy field goal territory. So explain to me how in the world we can look at last night's game as, well, there you go, can't trust Lamar Jackson.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day on the Grid. Thanks again, George Kurtz, SportsGrid host, for joining us, as he does from time to time, talking a little hockey, a little football, a little baseball as well. So last segment, boy, it flew by. A good 2 hours. A lot of fun tonight here, Gabe. So I got my late night DeGen special. No, it's not really DeGen. It's St. Mary's college basketball. Give me the under 140.5 St. Mary's against San Francisco. San Francisco's an under team. St. Mary's is one of my absolute automatic under teams that are doing it again this year. It is amazing how these teams do kind of repeat their process. New kids and everything. As long as the coach is the same. But they're an under team at San Fran, 6-2 under their last 8 in a series that's been dominated by St. Mary's. So we're going to go under 140.5. It's a decent-sized number.
I can't argue that. And we talked about Florida being too much for Oklahoma, but I got scared by the 6.5. I should have laid it, bro.
Yeah,
they're winning by 22. 46-24 at the half. They're up by 22. I did take Alabama, and Alabama are tied with Mississippi State. And you talked about that high total, Scott. It's down at 158.5 right now. It's only 34-34, like going into the half. So the new total was like, what, 174, 177? I think it was 177. Yeah. It was way up.
It was in the 170s. Yeah, it was way up.
Oklahoma State getting lit up, too. There's a couple of early routes here in college basketball. And how about this? And I'm not calling the coach out because I was surprised, but Seton Hall has scored a lot in the second half. And they've come back. They're only down by 6 right now with 3 minutes left. It's 62-56.
Wow. How about that?
They were down 13 at the half. Yeah, they were down 35-22 at the half and have outscored them 34-27 in the second. Pretty impressive. They're scrapped back like this against UConn.
Yeah. They could win. Imagine they beat UConn for a 4th straight time. Ooh, I would not want to be those UConn kids tomorrow at practice with Danny Hurley.
Yeah, that guy's a nut job.
He's really, it's just like,
give me the Edmonton Oilers for the record. I gave it to McDavid. He hasn't scored yet, McDavid. But, yeah, the Oilers are 3-3 at the intermission. I think they'll close. We talked about it. Dads are there or whatever. Like, McDavid can score in the third. I think they're going to finish this thing off and get it done. And the basketball game, a little bit worried about this one. Not good. Oklahoma City are finally responding. They're drilling them. The dam finally broke, Scott. It was so close at the half, too, man. It was like 50. Was it two? Like, dude, it was 55-52 at the half. Oklahoma City finally got mad, and they've outscored them 40-24 in the third.
Wow.
So it's 95-76 now. It's a rout.
Probably. Although I will say, Phoenix was down about 25 against Miami earlier tonight, and they're actually leading.
And we are getting 9. It's not like we're only getting 3 or something. You're right. Maybe, we are getting 9. Yeah. Maybe if they don't quit, they go on a little bit of a run here. So, in NHL hockey tonight, we got 2 more games on the way out here. Dallas Stars for me over the Anaheim Ducks. It's only -120. Let's go over 1.5 in the first period. -140. And we talked about it. Toronto Maple Leafs in Utah tonight. Give me the Utah Mammoth. It was -150. It's now -165. I'm curious to know if the Leafs have an injury or this is just sort of money coming in on them right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe back to goaltender playing?
Yeah, I think it was just I think people are just betting on them. I think look, hockey doesn't do load management, right? So everyone's playing. I'm seeing right now.
Yeah. Hawks-Lakers line is down to 1. They were a 3-point favorite this afternoon. It's down to 1.
Yeah, what's the deal with that?
But with what?
So is it official LeBron's out?
They don't have him listed for any props. So
I see him listed.
Do you? Yeah, FanDuel doesn't have him. I got him. Let me go to player points.
You know what? Dude, I swear to God, I look for, this is what we're here for, to find this stuff for people. I look like, we got a minute here still, so I'll find it. I look like 15 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago, like Lakers lineup, and it wasn't out yet.
Yeah. You're right. He is listed on FanDuel. He's always at the bottom for some reason. It's kind of weird. So he's going to play. Up. I wouldn't be playing any LeBron props. He doesn't play. He just had that little retort with the reporter last week about how he doesn't play back-to-back games. All right.
Let's see. I don't have their starting lineup. All I have is official LeBron James available.
Yeah.
So like he's playing. Yeah. Luka Doncic. Right. It's funny. It says LeBron James foot available. Luka Doncic available. Should say next to Luka. Punched by Dennis Schroeder available.
if we see like a scratch or a little bit of redness or anything,
they'll put makeup on it. I was thinking about that, Scott. They're going to cover it up, though. They would be like, I know, I was thinking about that. Everyone's going to be looking for a mark right away, right? Like tonight when we see Luka, like, where's a mark? Yeah. But if you guys suspended him for 3 games, he better have landed.
You would think, right?
Coach loved that when I said, good for him.